All right, just to remember what we just did, we went to Edit, Plugins, and we added both landmass, oh, the landmass plugin, and also the actor palette plugins, so we can get these tools working for us. Okay. Once we edit them, we just have to restart and things will be working fine. So before we start with new content, let's quickly remember how to use Unreal Engine. So if we want to move around, press the right mouse button on the viewport here, the main viewport.
Oh,
So now that's your neck, basically. And if you press WASD, you can go forward, backwards, left and right. If you press Q, you go down, E, you go up. Okay? And, well, that's the main interaction that we're gonna have with the engine to look around. We also have here, maybe you don't have this place actors like I did there, so we can place actors through going to Window, choosing here the Place Actors window to pop up. There you go, now we have access to, and they changed for the better. That's nice.
wait,
This new version.
Place actors?
Window, Place Actors.
My what?
So,
What?
yeah, from here, what we've learned about shapes, that they exist, but we don't want to use shapes because they are static meshes or 3D objects, finished 3D objects. We usually build our gray block using geometries, if you remember correctly. If you drag and drop, you can place them into the scene, all right?
Oh, so we go to geometry, and then if we wanted to drag a box in, for example, drag a box.
Exactly. Cylinder, for example. And also we've learned that if we go into the details panel of a geometry, we can change, well, a bunch of things, how it looks, the number of sides, for example, for our cylinder here. But most importantly, for all of them, we can change them from additive, meaning that they are positive volumes, to subtractive or negative volumes. So now we can literally, let me rotate these guys here. We can literally, well, subtract them from other objects, right? We also have learned about adding lights. That's the same process as the objects. If you press W, you're gonna get the move tool here. E, you get the rotation, and R, you get the scale tool. Just if you don't remember the shortcuts. And wow, that's pretty much it for the basics of basics. Anyone has a question of something that they try to do but you don't remember how to do it? No? Okay, that's good. That's great. You had the best instructor. That's what I can tell. Okay, one more thing that I want to add here. Oh, so we have here the Quixel Bridge and Unreal Marketplace buttons. You probably already know that both, they don't exist anymore, okay, with these names. Now they are called Fab. That I don't know what Fab stands for, maybe Fabric or whatever. But yeah, now the marketplace, Unreal Marketplace is called Fab. But if we click here, we're still gonna be forwarded to the Fab market. So I think that's an overlook there from Epic Spark because they changed the store, but in the engine they still use the old name. Oh yeah, we have to sign in first. So let's do it.
I think it's funny you can sign into Lego. You can sign into Lego.
Yep, with Nintendo and yeah, Roblox. Let's see here my two factors. Okay, so the only change that we're gonna see here is that now when we go under Unreal Engine, yeah, that's fine. Now we have the Fab tab instead of the Marketplace tab, and we have to go to their website. It's not the best, as it was before, but it still works. Same thing, same deal. And we actually have this pretty cool free for the month back here. Let's see, I'm probably gonna download this one. So we have this nice fishing village here. Add to cart. Oh, I have to log in again. Jeez. And authenticate again. Awesome. Yay! Okay, add to cart. I thought I already had it, but anywho. Where's my cart? Okay, now it's there. Check out for $0. And now we can use it. I'm using this one as the example, but we could use anything. So now the biggest change before, we could just like import from Quixel with a simple click. It was so useful. I think they will change things to make it great again. But for now, what we have to do, we have to go back to our Epic games folder in here. Go to our library. And here we have the Fab library under there, and now we can find the asset that we just got for free. What was the name of the asset? I don't remember. I have too many assets here, as you can see. Oh, here. What's the name? Pirate. All right. Interesting. It's not showing up in here yet. Maybe we need some time for the websites to communicate. But anyhow, I don't want to waste any time, so I'm just gonna find here any asset that I have in here. So this post-Soviet village looks just fine. So I'll click here, add to project, and you can choose any file that you like. And I'll add to my. Oh, it's not even here. My new project. Jeez. It's here. Add to project. This is great. Okay, let's try again. Let's go to the Epic Games Launcher. Library. I have my project here, which is how it's supposed to be. Yeah, it's not showing up. Show all projects. All right. Okay, so let's choose this one, saying that's incompatible. Okay, I'll choose a different asset here just to make things easier. This version is probably too new.
I have a, because I can't find the pirate one because I didn't notice we were meant to follow along. I didn't get the pirate one, but I tried doing the spaceship from 280, and it says asset not compatible with version 5.5.
Yeah, well, this is the process to add assets to your project. It's not working because 5.5 is new, and the asset creators, they haven't flagged that it works in 5.5, so that's why the engine's not allowing us to import into 5.5. I guess in a few weeks it should be
all good, but we're good.
all good to import.
Are we good to just mess around and chisel the geometry in the meantime?
Yeah, I think it's gonna. Oh, okay. I found one here that I can use. So I want to show you the whole process here for the recording. But yeah, with time, you don't have to import yourself now. It's fine. Okay. So now that we imported into the project, if we go into the content browser, now you can see here that I have something that you don't have, the animal variety folder. So all those assets that I imported, they're living under its own folder. So for example, I don't know, a crow, meshes. Oh, okay. Can I just put an animation? I think it's gonna look best. Okay, this one. Alright, so now I have my crow placed into my environment. Since I placed the animation, I think it's going to be animated when we start. Let me just test here. Yeah, it's animated. Although it's just like a simple animation, but it's there. Alright, so that's how we can import assets into our projects in this new, well, more archaic way to do it, just like we did it in Unreal 4. Okay, something else. So all of us, I think, since we grabbed the Quixel packs before the end of last year, if you did it, probably in class I asked you to do it, you have access to all the Quixel amazing assets that you had before. But if you're starting today, you don't have access anymore. You just cut off the access to Quixel. Now you have to buy them. So yeah, we just got a bunch of free assets. Alright, so now I want to show you something new, and probably it's going to make your life much easier for your cave assignment. What I want to show you is that we can create assets, or actually they're called levels, inside levels, or a level instance inside a level. So imagine something like this. You have to make this huge game, like an open world game, and you have to piece together different
zones?
No, different assets. For example, you have a modular environment. Let me show you one example here. Oh, here I have one. Castle modular. Oh, perfect. It's going to be awesome. Okay, so when it finishes, I'll show you how it works. But let's say that you have a modular ambient and you or assets, and now you are just placing them together to make a house or whatever you are building with those different assets. After you finish, let's say that you have to make another one again, right? A second house that's similar, or maybe it's the same one, and you don't want to work with groups, because groups, they are not very good. We're going to use something else that's better. That's a level instance where we're going to save all those assets into a level, actually, instead of a group. It's going to become its own level, and then we can just copy and replace stuff, and also have something like a block that we can repeat, and if we change one, we're going to change them all. Okay? Similar to an actor, but we don't have any programming there. It's just the assets. All right, so now I have here my medieval environment. If we check here, I don't know, I never used this one, so I have to find here the meshes. There we go, meshes. So here we have a bunch of different meshes. Then eventually, if we just like place them together, okay, let's put in one here. Now I'm gonna rotate and rotate again. All right, so let's say that this is the amazing asset that I'm building. It took me hours and hours to make this beauty in here, and I want to save it into a single element so I can replicate it as many times as I need. Maybe you already know that you can select them all, pressing Control and clicking on them. Then you can do a right click, and here we can do a group. Here, group. Now they're grouped up. We can move them as one. That works. It's not bad, but it's not the best way, I think. The best way to do it is, because we don't have an asset, right? We just have this group inside of our level, but it's not an asset that I can drag and drop from my content drawer. I'm gonna have to find it, copy and paste. If I have it in different levels, I'm not gonna be able to do it. So let me just ungroup it. All right. So what I want to do instead, I'll select them as usual, even the light here. So many things, or any actors could be, or any assets could be part of this level instance. So I'm going to do a right click here and level. create level instance. Okay. When we do it, it's gonna say, hey, where you want to place your pivot. For now, I just want to place the pivot, whatever, center minimum Z here. Later we can change it, so not too concerned. Yeah, okay. Now it's asking, hey, where you want to save this thing. So I don't know, let's make a new folder here on content, and let's call it level instances. And this one I'll call my gate, whatever. Okay, so now I have here the gate. I can still move it around just like before. And if I go here on the content drawer, when we go to our level instances right here, oh, it's not there.
I think you saved it to the content folder.
Ah, all right, thank you. Thank you, Luke. So I'm just gonna drag and drop here to my level instances. Yeah, movie there. Yep, cool. So now let's say that I have another one nearby. Just drag and drop and you're set, right? Let's edit. So if you right click, we have the option here to edit my gate to. So what I'm going to do first, I noticed that this light's not working, so I'm going to make it static, and now it's going to work. And I'll move it upwards, and also I'm going to detach this guy here, just so we can see the changes. Okay? When we save, just pay attention, something that's very important. When you save, all the instances will change as well. Okay? So this is a technique that you should use for things that will not change. For example, let's say that you have houses that you are spreading through your level. The structure of the house will be the same, but the things inside, I recommend that you have other groups. Maybe you can have like a specific group for bedroom, and you have like 3 bedrooms, 2 kitchens, and now you can just like place the different ones, so you don't have to do it again and again, right? Does it make sense? Okay. We can also explode or break this block here. Let's say that you just want to place your house, but now, or your gates, and now you want to make changes without breaking the other instances. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna explode or break this block and change it. So now it's not an instance anymore, it's going to be its own individual, right? So let me go back my changes here so we can, oh, I cannot go back here, okay? I didn't know that, so be careful with your changes. All right, so right click. Now, instead of edit, let's find here break. It's probably under level, yeah, level break, like here, okay? Break level instances, right here. Yep. Okay, this one still as a level, but this version here now it's broken into its individual assets. Okay, so now you can make changes and make it unique. Any questions so far? Too easy? Kind of? Yeah. Okay. Alright, so now I want to show you how to use an actor palette. That's something that I should be doing before this, but anyhow, you're going to be how useful it is. So as you notice, when I'm putting here my medieval environment, and we have here all the meshes, we have a bunch of meshes here to choose from and drag and drop into your scene. So that one, it looked like this huge platform, but when I put it into the scene, it's just like a tile. So sometimes it's really hard to know how to which asset to use. It's really hard to figure out what they are even sometimes. So there is a great way to, well, make your life easier. We already enabled the plugin for the actor palette, so now let's grab it. Window, is it window? Oh, sorry, edit, plugin. Oh no, okay, tools. We did it this one already. So tools, actor palette, the first one here. You can choose any of these, but I suggest picking the first one. So actor palette 1. So now we have this void here asking for a level. All right, what we're gonna do, we're gonna choose a level from the asset kit that we are using. You're gonna see. So open levels, I have here a bunch of these different levels. I don't know which one we're gonna use, so let's do some investigations in here. Medieval Castle, I wanna see all the levels inside here, inside this Medieval Castle asset pack. And here, oh, okay, we have a bunch of different levels, each one with probably a building in there. So let's see. I want to see. I don't think they have it. Yeah, they only have the building overview. This one's probably the one that I'm looking for. Okay, open level. Let's find overview, CF overview, demo scene. Yeah, maybe. Sounds like a good name. So basically what we're doing here, we're opening another level. So we have the level that we're working on right here, and we are opening a second level in there. So we can drag and drop elements from the second level into the scene that we're working right now. Okay? So we don't have to go through the Colton browser. We can literally just, oh, I think it's frozen. Yay! Let's give it some time. Maybe it's going to work. But that's basically what we're doing. So most of the assets, when we import into our projects, they will have a scene with all the assets side by side. So you're literally going to pick, drag and drop what you want in your scene. And then you can have a good sense of scale because they are side by side. Oh, yes. Oh, that's why it was so heavy, because it's like a fully finished level. But yeah, this one works as well. It's not exactly what I was hoping for, but it works. So let's say that I want to put this tower into my level here. Oh yeah, you just select, and now you click, and there you go. You have the asset there. In this case here, I'm bringing the whole asset because the assets are, it's probably already merged in the level that I'm bringing it from. So let's do this. Oh, my computer is flying here. Let me try the other actor palette here. I want to find the one that we have all the different things lined up. Choose level, open level, demo scene, overview. Yeah, I don't know which one is it. We'll have to try different ones. Well, let's open one more. Why not? Building 1. All right, yeah. Okay, so the idea here is to speed up your process and just make your life easier overall. Oh, okay, this one we can just pull in individual assets. Okay, so this is super useful. All right, so that's actor palettes in a nutshell. Very easy. It's more like a trick or a technique rather than like something really life-changing, but yes, it is life-changing. Okay, any questions? No? All right. So you probably, for the first assignment, the cave, I recommend that you use actor palettes to make your life easier and spread out the assets in the environment, because I want a finished environment. Like the first assignment we did in Viva 280, so it's a finished small environment, that's why it's a cave. It's not a whole level, we can talk about it later, but it's not a whole level, just like a small cave. So let's go from the small to the big level, so we're going to start in the cave, don't go crazy with your cave. It's a small cave. Okay?
Oh, it's a small
That's
cave.
That's the message.
Think like a igloo, not like a.
Yes.
We're not making Mount Moon from Pokemon.
Exactly. Question? Yes. Ah, okay.
How dare you take their void? No, yeah.
Yeah, we have this one. Okay, so now let's work with some landscape. Just one thing before we get into landscape, I will post a link on Blackboard so you can also have access to it. Just give me one sec. Mm. All right, so if you check on your Blackboard under course content, there's a link there that we're going to use soon. Okay, you don't have to click it on it right now. So let's go over landscapes. We covered it last semester somewhat, but we're going to go a little bit deeper now. I'm just going to close here place actors so I can have more space here. So here from selection mode, let's change it to landscape mode. And here we have the landscape that we are creating. If you remember, we can change, for example, oh, that's word partition, that's something else. But we can change here the size of our grid, right? We can make it bigger in any direction we need. I recommend having the smaller the better, but depending on your game, if you have like a big island, we're gonna need bigger spaces, right? Resolution, we can leave it as it is. I think that's a pretty good resolution. If it's, yeah, that's fine. But here, so how we've learned it last semester, let's say that I want, I also like to use 2x2 sections because I think we have more details. So that's a minor trick in there. But let's say I want to create this 8x8 and create.
How did you create the landscape?
Go to landscape mode.
Let's see, where's the...
Here on the top, you have this selection
Oh, perfect.
drop down menu. Okay. And once we are here, we've learned that we can use the sculpt tool. If we just click, we are raising the terrain, right? So I recommend you doing circular motions with your wrist to have a more natural looking mounts in there. If you press shift, you're gonna lower it, okay? And even like make holes like so, all right? And we also have learned about the smooth one that will smooth your edges. Ramp, if you press Alt or Shift, Shift, you're gonna start, and here's the end point, and then you can add ramp and change the width and the fall off if you remember. Okay, so we can do all those things here. We can use erosion. Here we have erosion from like soil, so it looks very natural actually. And this one is hydro or hydraulic erosion from water, and it's a little bit more pronounced and it gets more, how can I say, smooth overall, because you're gonna take out more material. But that's not what we're gonna discuss now. Those things you already know. Let's learn something new. So I just wanna delete my landscape, so we can click here delete and go individually deleting spaces, which is not ideal. or we can go to the selection mode, find here the landscape that we created and just delete it. Yeah, right there. Landscape, delete.
That's odd. It won't let me delete it.
Yeah, let me see here. What if we select them individually, the parts, and delete them? Yeah, that works. Weird enough. And now we can delete the main landscape. But if you don't have a landscape, I'm gonna wait because I see some people are still deleting landscapes, like me. So let's start a new landscape. But now, instead of building it by hand or modeling each hill in my environment, we're going to use a height map. Okay? What is a height map? Maybe that's your first question. A height map is basically a PNG file or like an image with information ranging from black to white, and you probably know what's going to happen. So everything that's darker is going to be, depends, we can invert that, but usually everything that's darker means that we have lower altitude, and everything that's lighter means that we have higher altitude. So basically we're going to be using this website. So now we can go to the Blackboard and find the website in there. Under course content, we have this link to height maps. So here we have a height map right there. So the white regions, they represent higher altitude. So here we have mountains. And the darker areas, here we have some river basins. Here's the ocean, okay? The black is literally like the ocean. Not the ocean floor, but the ocean surface. So with this website here, we're gonna be taking images out of Earth, so real places, and we're gonna import those into our Unreal Engine. Maybe you're gonna ask me, hey Marcel, that's awesome. I could recreate Amsport in 3D and send it to the city hall so they can do stuff, right? Yeah, kind of. I couldn't find a good way to make it precise to reality, because we have like scale changes, and depending how close you are to the surface, or how small is your image here for the height map, we're gonna have different results that vary, so different adjustments. But yeah, in theory, that's totally possible, okay? You can literally build something from real life in a Unreal Engine. You're just gonna have to find the right scale. So if I scale up here, we're gonna see the whole world. Come on, show me the whole world. It's only mine that's broken, or yeah?
Let me try doing it. If I go plus, then it turns into a white void. But if I go minus, plus, so it has to stay right there for whatever reason.
Okay, I think depends. It was working last Friday when I tested. But I think depends the how far we are, or maybe it's the rendering that's kind of too slow. And I tested different places. Oh, damn it! That's really not fun. Okay, but anyway, try to find a region, or maybe I'll share the height map that I exported last week. Probably is going to be easier. So give me 1 second. I'm going to add there to our course content.
It looks like it was a problem when they did the last update to the height mapper. I just read a big
Oh,
thread.
and
Everybody else is having the same problem.
okay,
That's a big-
and was it over the weekend? Probably.
No, it
No?
was, it
All the
was
way last year,
last year.
Oh wow.
9 months ago.
Oh, it worked really well last Friday. Weird. Maybe if we change from Google Chrome, it's gonna work better. Yeah, still broken.
Just as broken.
Yeah, I'll check again here later. With the Brave Navigator, it was working perfectly. Okay, so just give me 1 sec. I will upload my height maps. Ah, I was in another computer. Damn it, I don't have it here. Okay, I will export whatever we have in here,
Oh,
so we
shoot.
have something to work with.
Okay, so we just click export under map labels.
Yeah, you have to have something in your screen, otherwise we're only gonna export like white, so it's not like a good map. So here I have something, I'm gonna export whatever I have here. You can do the same, okay? So we're gonna use more like the center of it. So I don't want a lot of black in here. So once we have a nice location that works, press export here. And there you go, we already have it exported right there. Okay, if we open, yeah, it works, awesome. So back to Unreal Engine. Now here, instead of create new, we're gonna choose the option import from file. Okay, and here on height map, we're gonna click here on the 3 dots, the button over there, and we're gonna find our height map. In my case, it's under downloads. Then we choose open. Alright, so here we can see this wireframe, totally weird wireframe. Don't hit OK yet, or if you did, that's fine, we can just recompose that later. So I'm going to export several times so you can see how it can go wrong, then I show you how to make it right. Maybe that's a good way to teach you. Okay, so here we have the height map resolution. Ideally, we want a square height map if we want to be really efficient in the way that we are using the memory. And also, this size here should match the size that we have here, at least get real close, okay? The overall resolution should match your height map resolution, meaning that you're going to have 1-to-1 scale in this case.
So if my resolution, for example, so it's 3840 by 1788, and then the overall resolution is 3938 1906. That would work?
Yeah, it works either way, but if you want to keep as close as your original map as possible,
You can shape
it's
it in.
better to just type in the actual size that you have there. Although, even like more efficiency things, this one's not, oh, okay, the overall resolution changed. Did I type it wrong?
No, it should not.
Oh, okay, that's the maximum we can go. All right, yeah, we have too much of a big height map, but that's fine. It's gonna work anyway. So here, what I think you should be really concerned about is the scale in here. Okay, so I'll do it wrongly if I just import. Because my height map goes from total black to total white, I have a lot of range here in heights. So it's gonna look pretty rough. And we're gonna change that to make it look okay. But first I wanna show you how it should not look. Alright, so from afar, it kinda looks okay, right? It's kinda nice. But if we get close, let's play. Oh, I'm under it. Okay, so player start goes away. Oh, let's go back to selection. Player start goes away. So, oh, I'm still under the mountains. Can go up. Geez, those are pretty tall. Okay, now we are playing. You can see it's not very conducive to gameplay, right? It's pretty bad. So, and you can also see the terrain is pretty rough. We have some like glitches here and there with shadows. This is no good, right? So how we can make it better? I've seen many people trying different methods. I'll teach you the one that worked best for me. But just so you know, there are other ways to do it. Oh, it crashed. Yay, that's unreal.
Engine.
It happens to all of us.
I'm a chronic favorite.
Okay, it's still here at least.
That's like the worst part.
Okay, I'll do it again. Landscape, import from file, height map, find your height map. And here now is the trick to make it work. So the problem that we identified is that we have a lot of height that shouldn't be there. It should be a little bit lower overall. So that's what we're going to do here. So under scale, the number that worked for me 100% of the times is doubling X and Y, so making twice the size for in terms of like how wide it is and how deep it is. And for the height, or the Z here, I use 10. So we are basically just flattening everything a lot. Or if you want to keep the math the same way it was before, you can have 100, 105, right? It's the same ratio. So import. Now we're gonna see it looks way better. Fingers crossed.
Wakey wakey. Eggs and bakey. Come on. Reading.
Yay! Okay, so this is the very same place that we seen before, right? But look how flattened out it is. We don't have any mountains in here, actually,
How are
right?
you going so fast flying around? 'Cause
Oh,
right
if-
now I'm going
If I'm going too fast, you can change here your camera speed from 1 to 16 or whatever, and it's going to be faster. Okay, so maybe this one, it's a little bit too flat. Oh.
It's funny, it's like I buried in a desert.
Maybe this one's a little bit too flat, so 100 to 5, it's a little bit too much, so probably next if I want something higher, I can work with 100, 110, right? So I'm going to double the size of my peaks. Does that make sense?
What about 25?
Yeah.
How do I go
Try.
back again with this?
Control Z. Okay, I'm not going to do Control Z because I don't want to crash my computer again. But I think you got the idea, right? Whatever, if you scale up your number on the Z-axis, you're going to have higher peaks. If you bring it lower, you're going to have lower peaks. But here's my technique, what I want to show you. That's only half of our landscape. Because we can go back to the landscape, now that I have this irregular terrain all surrounding me, I can go back here and I can still sculpt and make my own. Oh, we are reaching here a peak? Oh, okay. Wasn't expecting this. Okay. So we have a peak that we cannot go higher than that. So it means we can use two landscapes in this case here. So now that we have this base landscape here, or before doing that, let me test something. I haven't tested it all together. Alright, so let's do something else here. So now I want to make my own landscape here, change things instead of just using this height map. So although it's not the best practice, but it's something that we can do, let's add a new landscape. Okay? So I'm going to add this new landscape in here, but now I just want to create new instead of creating from file. We can see here, whatever we see the dark green, it means that it's below the line that I'm creating this landscape, so we can change it a little bit. Here we have this arrow. Let's lower a little bit under this landscape, so we have the height map landscape on the top, and below it we have this other landscape. Okay, and now let's just hit create. Should be easy enough for the computer.
I feel like much changed.
Yeah, you just have a new layer below it. You shouldn't change anything initially.
I think I should make this all deserts.
Alright, so now that we have this new landscape, so here under manage, make sure that you are working on landscape number 2, okay? Because now if we sculpt, we can sculpt whatever size we need. Is it sculpting? Let's change to strength here. Why are you not helping me? Oh, okay. Interesting. Give me 1 sec.
My favorite one thing, like, gets stuck.
I'm not stuck, I'm falling.
So now are we free to sculpt?
We should be free to sculpt, but mine is not working. It's just stopping before the other one, so I want to see what's going on here.
It's funny, I'm at max camera speed, and yet it still feels so slow.
Oh,
Huh.
It's kind of odd. Why won't it let me sculpt? Unless, oh, it's the second keeps flickering.
It's because the square is
Yeah. See, I think someone please so
Well, I don't know exactly what's going on here, but the logic, it's fine. Later I'll see what's the issue. So let me know, can you guys make like taller mounts than myself, or yours are pretty tiny as me?
Kinda. just make a mask, figure out mask
I don't know why we are reaching this cap. We'll have to research. Never happened before, but anyhow, we don't necessarily need the second landscape to do this. We can work on the first one. If we are landscape mode, change here to landscape. Yeah, so we can sculpt the height map that we entered. I don't know why we are reaching this cap here. We should have more room to do things, but yeah.
That's the cap of the height.
Yeah, but I don't know how to change it. Well, our research should give you better answers and see what's going on, but yeah.
My computer just completely random blacked out.
So, the next thing that we're gonna do, oh, it's broken too? All of these?
Everyone's
Only
everyone
the
aside
phones.
from Steven and some of the other people here.
Maybe someone kicked the
No,
power.
power button's still on.
It's turning on again.
Mine's
There. Matthew, check if it's on
everything's plugged in.
Try
Mine's
turning on
completely
and off
blacked
the-
out.
Yeah, the switch there. Jeez.
Well, this is something that happens on the third floor, I guess.
Technical problems.
Better now than losing half your stuff.
That's true. Yeah, I don't think we have enough computers for all of you to change, but yeah, try getting something else. Yours too? Here?
Maybe with the simple effect could extend into time, but at the same time I don't really know how that works.
Okay, so let's keep going with the lecture, and then, yeah, that's a technical issue and more time to solve. All right, so the last technique that I want to show you here is one that's pretty cool. That's why we enabled the plugin for landmass. So what is landmass? Landmass is a non-destructive way to create your landscapes. What does it mean? It means that here, whenever we are changing the environment through sculpting, we are destroying what we had before, right? So let's say that I want to move this mountain here from the right corner to the left corner right there. I literally have to sculpt this one back the way it was before and resculpt the mountain in there. But if we use the landmass plugin, now we have vectors basically that we can move around, and those vectors, they're going to create procedurally the change on the landscape. So yeah, we can literally move mountains and keep exactly as they look. So what we're going to do here, we already have it enabled. Let me see if it's going to work, because so many things are breaking in here that I'm not very confident. All right, so here we have the different tools for sculpture, and we have here the blueprint brush. All right, the blueprint brush is the one that will create these landmass types of terrain. So here we have a bunch of options. The first one is the one that we are looking for. Let me just double check here. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. So custom brush landmass. Now whatever I click, I will create a mountain or something like it. Okay, F to get closer. So this pyramid, well, it's not a pyramid because we have only 3 sides here instead of 4. But anyhow, this mount here, it's, well, the beginning of our mountain. So if we move here the origin point, we gotta move it to different places. Okay, so that's why I can literally move a mountain out of place without changing whatever I have underneath. But also I can change its form, so I can move this one to the other side. Unless I move this one, that's the main one. Oh, now I can move it. So if I click away and click back. Oh, okay. Let's go back to selection mode now. So if I click here, now I can move it just the point, or if I click on the form, now I can move it to a different location. All right. So here, let's do a big one. I can also press Alt and move it around to create a copy, okay, or a new point in here to give it a different shape. Right, so you can go crazy and do different forms. But the beauty of this, you may be thinking, oh, that sucks. That doesn't look like a mountain at all. Fear not, we are not finished yet. So if we scroll down here to the details panel, we'll see here. Oh, I have just this spline. No, that's fine. Landscape brush. Fall off is one that's important. Okay. So here in fall off, I recommend that you change the angle to see how it looks like. So right now we have a 45 degrees angle for how our mountains coming out of ground. So if we improve it, we're gonna have a more steep face. Okay. But if we make it smaller, then we have a more gentle slope. Okay, that's one thing that we can do. What else we have here? We have the fall off and curl noise. This one is where things will start to look nice. So curl noise, all these other controllers here, they change things, but I don't think they make a lot of change. Those two, they're really important. The fall off and here the curl strength. If we change here, now you're gonna see magic. So it's just changing. Oh, this one looks horrible.
Warps it entirely until it dies.
Kind of, yeah. So the first one, maybe 0.2 is a good value. And here for the strength, maybe this one. For the second one, it's gonna work better. Yeah, kind of. I don't like this one either. Let's try 0.5, this one. Yeah, now it's not as squared as before. Now the tiling here, we can change to get different forms until we're happy with one.
It looks like a golf course object.
That's true. That's true. That's fine. Let me know if you're getting better results, because we have here a limitation on the height that we can make in this project. I don't know why. But it's harder to see it. When you have bigger mountains, then the procedural generation looks a little bit better than just like a blob, as we have here. Maybe if I change here back to 45, we're gonna get better results. Yeah, kind of. You see, it works nice here on those slopes, but not so much here because we have this weird limitation for height. So the cool thing, once again, is that now that I have this mountain, let's say that I loved it, and that's exactly what I wanted to make, I can select it and, oh, you know what? I don't like this mountain here. Maybe I want back there. And there it is, okay? The very same mountain. Of course, because the terrain here is different, it's gonna fit in differently. But we can literally move mountains to different regions. Or just create these mountain ridges by, well, placing a line across. Oh, and here we can change maybe like this, so we can input a curve there, and look here, this mountain range that we have. Okay, very, very simple. It's basically a line, and there you have your mountain. You don't have to do it by hand. Okay, sounds useful. Okay, good. Good. Yes.
Doesn't seem to want to let me place the custom brush.
Have you enabled yes.
Marcel, did we talk to? Should we go grab Pallet?
Yes, things a good idea. Did it work?
I believe.
Crash. Yay.
Wait,
Okay,
is
now it's-
Alex just turn down the hall? Basically, that's
Yes.
our hallway.
I can go with.
Alright. Because I was gonna. Are you able to get Alex?
I think so. Okay, and the final trick of today is making a hole in our landscape, because after all we are making. Oh, yours looks pretty good. Yeah. It's more like a sand.
Very, very large.
Yeah.
It's like you're making an ocean.
So we're gonna have a cave, so we need to poke holes into our terrain. And it should be really simple, but it's kind of not. It's not so simple. So
When you say you want this to be a realistic cave, do you want us to be painting it, or do you want like a cave that's like, oh, that's reasonable, it's got a hole in it, kind of a canopy and all?
I want it like good looking, because I want to see how far you can push your
Knowledge of
building
landscape.
environments. Not landscape, but inside the cave first. Yeah. Okay, so let's do here. Has been a while. Maybe we need a couple tries to do it. So right click, make a material. Okay. m_landscape. Oh geez.
You almost typed you almost hit landscape.
Yep. Okay, so my landscape's here, the material. So first things first. Oh wow, they changed a few things in here. Interesting. All right, so first things first, let's select here our box, material box, and here we're gonna change from opaque to masked. Okay, that's the big change we're gonna make.
He's currently not in his room.
Oh,
I don't know
okay,
where he is.
thank you.
Probably on lunch break. Maybe.
Now here where we see opacity mask, so just so you can see here, before if we are using opaque, the opacity mask is grayed out. To have access to this node, we have to change here the blend mode from opaque to masked. So it means that we can mask all things. That's basically what we are saying. But we don't have opacity. Well, anywho, so here in opacity mask, we're gonna search here for visibility. Oh, geez. Landscape visibility mask. Right there, the last option if you type it down. Okay, and that's it, pretty much. We can save here. Right now we don't need any information for the color. If you want to have it green because you want to see green hills in your landscape, yeah, go for it. Okay, but that's it. Now we have our material. Select your landscape or the parent landscape here, okay, the main item, and here let's attach our M landscape material right there. Everything should turn green in a couple minutes. Yay! Beautiful. Toy Story.
I feel like I'm looking at a Lego base plate,
Yep.
but without all the Lego studs.
That's our like horrible material that we're just creating for demo. Okay, so here we are. Now let's say that I want to poke a hole right there. If you search on the internet, probably you're going to see people saying to do like this. Go to landscape, manage, delete, and delete a portion of your landscape. But as you can see, this is suboptimal. It's like really, really bad, actually. So
Sculpt erase.
what we're going to do, go back to landscape mode, sculpt, and here we have this visibility brush right there. Okay, beside on the left side to the blueprint brush. And now since we already have our material done, we can change the brush size and the fall off. Actually, I recommend this one to have a like 0 fall off, so it's really easy to see where you're cutting. And now whatever you paint, you are poking a hole into the ground. Oh, damn it. If you delete your player start, you know you can start playing from anywhere that your camera is, right? So let me do this so we can test. Alright, so Alt P, now I'm going to start playing from my camera. There you go, we have the hole and we can get inside of it. Oh cool, we have something beneath it already. That's good. Okay? Does it make sense? It's pretty easy, I think. Alright, so that's the bulk of everything we should see today. Any questions? Maybe you don't remember how to, I don't know, do something in Unreal Engine. Or it doesn't have to be related to what we are doing right now, but overall, any questions? Okay, let's see the assignment description. All right. So once again, my idea with this assignment is to get you guys back on the saddle with using Unreal Engine, especially to make beautiful environments or realistic. It doesn't have to be realistic; depends on your own art direction, but something that looks good. Okay. So the cave itself, I wanted the best you can do in terms of lighting, asset, and material disposition, okay? It doesn't have to be totally finished because later we can improve because we're definitely going to learn new tricks in the semester, but
The
do
best
as
you can
the
do,
best you
you're-
can do. Yes.
This is your, okay, you're back, you're probably somewhat still green.
Yep.
Get back and,
Give it a try. I changed here the naming convention. I never really enforce this rule, but I think it's very useful for yourself and also for me when I'm marking. If you can put A1 for assignment 1, your last name and your first name, okay?
Are
Yes.
we also able to put like just Nita 380 on it as well? Just for like my.
Yes, of course, of course. If you want to add more things,
Okay.
go for it. Yeah. I try to simplify so people would use it, but if you want to add more, yeah, that's great. That's great. But I'm not going to take any marks if you don't follow
like the naming
the naming convention. It's just good to get in practice. Yes.
When we're submitting it, should they send you like the actual project file? or
No,
like
just the
video?
images. Yes. Always, you only gonna send me images or videos, okay? Otherwise, yeah, there's no space.
Do we check if, like, do we want to check again if Alex is office or?
So, Mona, can you check again if Alex is around? Thank you. All right, so I also changed a little bit the structure of the assignment description, so it's more on target. Maybe. Let me know if it helps or if it makes it more difficult. So, purpose and learning objectives of this assignment. So, this assignment is designed to reinforce basics of Unreal Engine 5 while encouraging creativity in level design and environment design. The primary focus is on building a high-quality cave setting using assets from FabStore, old Epic's Marketplace, or self-created 3D assets. Feel free to use your own assets if you have them, that's fine. Or from any other place. I don't care where it comes from, as long as it looks great. Okay? Don't be anti-ethical if you're using from Creative Commons, let me know. But yeah, we are not selling, so we can't steal. Tell anyone. Okay? Only if we are selling, then it's stealing. But if we're not selling, it's not stealing. This foundational project will set the stage for future lessons on materials and vehicles. By completing this assignment, you learn more about Unreal Engine and level design. Practice set dressing, that's the key point here, actually. Develop understanding of lighting techniques, that's also good. And lay the groundwork for future enhancements in our overall environment. Task description. In this assignment, you create a small cave setting that includes a cave entrance, truthfully place assets for immersive set dressing, well-designed lighting to enhance the atmosphere, and student created materials and decals. This one's later, okay? Forget about decals now.
So
We're gonna
will-
learn it next week, how to make decals, so, yeah.
Will this be due for next week?
Yes.
No, he's on there.
Thank you so much.
So I guess this is a show up on another day, try to get it done. Do the people who have their computers owe it an extension at all, or no?
Yes,
wait?
yes. Okay, so submission requirements, high quality images of the completed cave environment, images showcasing the materials and decals you created for the cave. Okay, so you don't have to have decals for next week. Have your layout done. You don't have to finish it all for next week, but have it like 80%, so we can work in class and finish. If you want to bring it all done, even better, then you have less work on this assignment and you can start thinking about your open world. But yes, do your best. We're gonna add decals. Do you know what are decals at all? Yes?
Like images that you place on the landscape.
Yes, images that you place on assets in general, in static meshes. But the cool thing about decals is that, let's say that we have like a blood splatter. That's the best example I can give you. They are not an image that we're gonna, like a decal, like a real decal, like a 2D thing that you're gonna put on the wall. They are actually volumes. So whatever form we have, we use a barrel. We just have to put it inside the volume, and then the normals, geez, forget the name now, but anyway, the image will just
Yeah, that's
wrap around the mesh, so it's really cool. It's great to add details like art, like, I don't know, dirt, like slashes, things that are not on your basic asset, like your raw asset. Anything, any information you want to add, usually we're going to use decals because they're very light on processing as well. So that's why we're going to learn how to do it next week, because they're very handy. Okay, things I will be evaluating, the level design quality. Remember, it's a small cave. I'm not really thinking about level design. Just make something simple. It's not a game, it's just a cave. Okay? Think that's the starting point for your adventure in the open world. You're going to start from a cave and explore everything around it. So it's a simple place.
I think it's very fitting how you decided to start us off with a small little cave.
Yeah. Well, environment design, that's a big thing. I want to see how cool is your cave. And once again, you can do a medieval cave, Gothic cave, Western cave, cyberpunk cave, whatever you find the assets. I think just be smart about especially the free assets you're going to find to use. But yeah, you're free to explore any art direction you want to go.
Any art avenue that you wish. I think it'd be kind of funny to see like because would it really depend on what you define as a cave as well within those
Yep.
settings? Like
Yep.
you don't have to necessarily have a stone cave. You can kind of make like an oddly stone and metally cave.
Yeah, or if you are in a cyberpunk setting, kind of your office, like your house, could be this cave, right?
Yeah, like part rock, part house. Yep.
All right, material quality, decal quality, resources you can use, class recordings, assets from Fab Store, any 3D asset you produce yourself, collaboration, get help from your friends, and use examples. And remember, start from a sketch. That's the best way. So think before you model, okay? Timeline, next week. And yeah, that's it. Any more questions? No? All right. Thank you very much. Let me stop